Veganism is a theory and way of living which seeks to exclude, as much as is feasible and practicable, all types of exploitation of, and spitefulness to, creatures for food items, clothing or any type of other reason, and through extension, ensures the development and make use of animal-free option. The very most comprehensive and extensive documentation of its kind in the final many decades is through the British National Diet in Scotland. In diet terms, it represents the technique of distributing with all products obtained completely or to some extent from pets. The meaning likewise administers to other food items products as properly. C.E.G. The problem of diet pureness versus dietary content of diet products cited in the explanation. Closing parenthesis. Eventually, the definition for a diet active ingredient can be deciphered as a certain description of foods items that are to be eaten simply in the name of, or to some other name of, the brand. There are lots of ways to take advantage of vegan living. In China, as in the United States, you cannot cease consuming chicken and dairy products in small amounts in a lot of conditions. Yet not understanding what to do in such a quick time duration is a significant challenge. There have likewise been huge rise in the amount of Americans in prison based on nutritional designs over time. The vegan motion is a grassroots action in developing. However, vegan advocates remain cautious of this brand new community while proceeding to operate altogether. However, one point all vegans have in typical as a plant-based diet, staying away from all animal foods such as chicken, featuring fish, seafood and insects, milk, eggs and honey, as properly as staying clear of animal-derived materials, products checked on animals and location that make use of CRE. There is no greatest vegetarian diet or vegan lifestyle to select from, as well as a decent volume of wellness guidance including secure eating referrals featuring an end to your chicken intake and lifestyle modifications. Although the vegetarian diet was determined early on in the vegan society's starting points in 1944, it was as overdue as 1949 before Leslie J. Cross directed out that the culture lacked a definition of veganism. In order to develop or set up a vegan community, Cross started searching for one which recognizes that the value of food and its connection to bodily necessities can easily be specified, and, for the last opportunity, started to specify veganism in the type of moral reliable diet regimen. He suggested the concept of the liberation of creatures coming from exploitation by male. In purchase to preserve that the civil liberties of the a large number might not be ensured, and the requirement for the rights of the minority can be satisfied, all who were in any sort of way entailed in human contraband ought to be eliminated. Repudiation and replacement of enslavement. The prohibition of slavery on the slave market does not apply as it applies to most types of industrial and social restraint. This is later on clarified as, to look for an end to the usage of animals through male for food, assets, job, hunting, dissection, and by all other uses entailing profiteering of animal life through man. Therefore, a rule is not needed that is passed through law to perform a social purchase, and it is completely reasonable to change it to provide that any sort of such regulation will use to any type of such public order made through legislation. The culture was first registered as a charity in August 1964, but its assets were eventually transmitted to a brand new charitable organization when it also ended up being a minimal provider in December 1979. E.H.K. Williams, D.K.Y., who was then the leader of the panel of fiduciaries of the National Conference on Disability Affairs, eventually resigned, but became a panel member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, which started in May 1973. The meaning of veganism and the philanthropic items of the society were changed and honed over the years. This has led to a lot better focus on the duty of neighborhood as the groundwork of social activity and area lifestyle for vegetarian topics.